Yeah, I got you. Live on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't even see that yet.
I see it on my screen.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, I see it now. Let me close this out because what may happen is I may hear feedback.
Okay.
Woohoo! Yes, we're here. Awesome. All right, Andrene here, Dr. Fizer here. I'm going to wait for a few folks to come on in the room. Come on in the room. Let me make sure on my timeline
Yeah.
I see the both of us. Yes, I do see the both of us.
Awesome. Awesome.
Come on in the room. I'm going to invite some folks in the room.
Awesome.
Share this to my... I see Mrs. Fizer in the room. Thank you for tuning in, Miss Fizer.
How you doing, Mrs. B? Happy 26.
Just going to share this to my other groups so that they are aware that we are live and in living color.
I hear you.
Don't want anyone to miss out on the good stuff. All right, so we got two people in the room.
Oh, okay.
Let's begin. Okay, Andrene Booth here, Master Life Strategist and Coach. This is another episode of Sacred Conversations. Sacred Conversations is a sacred space to empower women, and it is a sacred space for empowered women. It's a space where we want women to know who they are and whose they are. We want you to have a sense of self. We want you to be confident.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm really excited about this episode because it's with a special guest, someone who is very dear to me. But before I explain why he is dear to me, I just want to tell you just a little bit about him. I couldn't even write down everything. I said, just give little bits and pieces. It would take me about an hour to really talk about all the wonderful things that he has done and is doing.
Yeah.
This is my guest is Dr. Undrai Fizer. He is a best-selling author, master life strategist of the Kairos Institute. He is also a jazz pianist. He is the founder of Kairos Interglobal. That is a module formulated to provoke and inspire thought that leads to personal and spiritual enlightenment, purpose, and awakening.
Yeah.
Dr. Fizer shares his life with Bridget Fizer, who is watching us right now. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to Ms. Fizer. He shares his life also with his three sons, Benjamin, Lauren, and Zion.
Oh, yeah.
Fizer also founded a strategic community advancement module, which functions as a governmental arm of Kairos, Houston Hope Humanity. Yeah. From this medium, he brings solutions, ideas, and compassion to many of our cities and nations' ills. I am so excited to present to you my mentor, Dr. Undrai Fizer. I just want to see some hearts, please. I want to see some hearts for Dr. Undrai Fizer. He's very dear to me. I met Doc when I left the church. I grew up in my home church for over 20-something years. And I knew that there was something calling me for more. I didn't know what that more was, but I knew there was much more. I couldn't articulate it. I didn't understand it, but I had reached a point in my spiritual journey where the familiar was, it was harder for me to stay in the familiar.
Yeah.
And I had to take a leap of faith and step into the unfamiliar, as scary as it was. And Dr. Undrai Fizer was one of the first voices that I heard. and his voice, the sound, the words, it just hit home. And it was as if I was the woman with the issue of blood. Where when I heard his words, I said, if I could just touch, if I could have that confidence, if I could have that incredible mind, I know I will be made whole. And ever since I have been connected to Dr. Fizer, my life has never been the same. And I know some people will be like, well, she talking like he's Jesus. Well, I'm gonna be as bold as to say he is a Jesus walking the earth. As absurd as that may sound, he is a Christ walking in the earth, and he's doing the miraculous. And I am so proud to call him mentor, and I'm so proud to be here with him and to share this platform and just let you all hear the greatness that comes from him.
Thank you.
Yes. And the topic that we're going to talk about in this sacred conversation is self-discovery and enlightenment. Self-discovery. And self-discovery for me was, when I came out of the church, was kind of like a taboo thing, or it sounded new age. It sounded like blasphemous, because what I learned was I needed to search for God. I needed to forget about myself and seek God. So Dr. Fizer, can you just explain why self-discovery? I thought, and as some viewers may be watching and thinking the same thing, self-discovery, I thought I'm here to discover God. Can you explain what self-discovery is?
Well, you are basically discovering God's original intent for your existence and your being. You're actually recognizing the unique quality of your existence and your behavior and your motivation and your own truths. And so many times in religiosity, we learn how to remember concepts that were told to us, but those concepts are not leading us to our own imagination or reality. And so when you said you left the church, you really, and I know what you mean, you really didn't leave the church. You left the concepts of the routine of spiritual dogma that led you in a circle, but you still had dissatisfaction in your consciousness. And there was a fear of living on your own ability or capacity. And so you left the babysitting dimension and you moved into a maturity of reality or maturity of consciousness. So self-discovery is to discover what God thought in his mind when he thought of you, when he created you. Whenever God created a thing, he thought of it, and there was an intention in his mind that caused him to establish a certain essence called you. And you tapped into what God was thinking when he thought of you, when he made you. And that is the thing that brings fulfillment, because you've caught God's thoughts concerning you. So many times we feel that God just made a slew of people, but God intentionally created each one of us in his own thought. Well, that takes a lot to consider, that you are a unique thought of God. Now, we say it a lot on Facebook, you know, you're God's thoughts, go be encouraged. But we're still mad, we're still sick, and we're still bored, and we're still tired, and we still procrastinate. But imagine if you actually tapped into how God was feeling about you when he thought of you before he made you. What would that feeling do to you when you partake of it? When you actually see the joy and intention that God had in designing you? Have you ever thought of an outfit that you wanted to wear to a certain event? And you're at work now and you're thinking, yeah, I'm gonna wear that blue skirt, because you know how that skirt fits on you. You know all of your body type. You know how you look when you wear that skirt. Okay, be careful. Be careful now. Watch out. Watch yourself, Father. Deliver. Deliver. Lord, deliver now. Just bring deliverance. And so, and cleanliness. And so the thing, so you already know if I wear that blue skirt, and then you already know the top, because you know how you built and you know how you want to feel. First of all, you know how you want to feel. Yeah. So you have outfits that will give you the feeling that you want to feel when you put it on. And so you know your feet too. So you say, if I wear these shoes, I like how it's going to make my calves look when I put these shoes on, and how it's going to make my ankle look. Because you get people to take pictures of you in that outfit. Yes. And when you see yourself in that outfit with your hair a certain way, you said, oh yeah, I want to look like that today. So when God created us, he put an outfit on in his mind. I want to feel like this when I see her. And I want this to be like this, because I want to be able to see me in this outfit like this. So all of us are outfits of God. And so when you discover the feeling that God wanted to feel, you will discover that you too are, as God, feeling that same way too. Yes. That you are not separate and created to make God feel happy, but you are the reflection of God. So however God wanted to feel about himself is the way you want to feel about yourself too. You and God are not separate. So self-discovery, I think what people hate is the word self. They don't mind discovery, but when you say self, and in Christendom, we're taught, I want to crucify self. So self isn't a good word in Pentecostalism or Christendom, not self. When you speak of self, you think of destroying it. Yes. But in God's mind, when you say self, it's discovering the imagination that God had when he thought of you. Yes. When you tap into the imagination of God, you really tapped into your own imagination, and it would make you feel a vibration of oneness with God. Oneness with God is not just saying I'm not sinning. Oneness is saying I'm feeling the same vibration of God. And when you feel the same vibration of God, it naturally, without coercion or force or even teaching, it will elevate the consciousness of your behavior and your activity, and it will change your self-belief and your perspective. And that's where the miraculous energy is established, when your consciousness is elevated, because you've tapped into how God feels about you, because that's the way you feel about you. The same way you feel in those clothes is how God feels when he made you. But in religion, we only tap into that feeling temporarily. Yes. We feel it a little bit, then next week we got to be back on the altar again, repenting for something. And you see what I'm saying? Yes. Religion is for saved people, but the kingdom is for God's. Yes. Say that again, Doc. Say that again. Religion is for the saved, but the kingdom is for God's. Somebody needs to type that. You see, religion is for people who have to keep doing it again. Yes. It's a routine of doing it again, because I keep losing the feeling. So, because I remember those moments when I would say, I just don't feel saved. It's like, how do you feel saved? But when you're walking in the God image, you're not trying to be saved. You're being one. You're not. See, God cannot teach us to be saved. He can only teach us to be God. Yes. God can only teach us to be God. Because God isn't saved. So God don't know how to teach what he isn't. God ain't saved. Can I say ain't on this show? You can say ain't, and you can say isn't. Okay, because ain't feels real good. Feel real good. God can't teach what he is not. Amen. But he could teach what he is. That's why Jesus said, whatever I do, I see my Father do. Jesus never did a saved work. He always did a God work. Yes. He never did a saved work. Yes. And so self-discovery is discovering the maximum or the optimum excellence of your identity, And if you are in love with that discovery, it will shift without coercion your behavior. It will change your perspective of living, not just your perspective of spirituality, but your perspective of self, of who you are, and even the relationships you have. It would change how you think about you, and however you think about you will determine how you think about others and what they should think about themselves thinking about you.
Yes.
So that's what protect us from being involved in relationships that don't think the right thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not a matter of, I got to think a saved thought all the time. No, we have to share a vibrational energy that lets us know we are equally yoked together. And we can't be equally yoked because of fineness, because we have mutual fineness. We both fine. Well, I'm fine. She fine. She fine. I'm fine. You fine? I'm fine. How you look, girl? He fine. No, it can't just be mutual fine. How she look? Man, she fine. You gonna like her. Because I remember coming up, say, man, how she look? She fine, man. Y'all make a good couple because we fine.
Mm-hmm.
Fine, being fine and messed up a lot of people.
Yes.
Being fine, but what is the mind? And the mind is not just book learning, it's the vibrational content that causes the miraculous to flow. That is self-discovery. I've discovered my original feeling. I've discovered God's original feeling of me. And I love it.
Yes.
I like it. But you can't discover it if you don't want to find it. And you can't discover it if you hate what you find.
I love that you just said that. Self-discovery. So self-discovery is not something that's just going to fall into your lap. Is that
no?
What you're saying?
It's not.
You have to want. You have to desire. You have to seek.
Yeah, you seek within. See, seeking is not getting books and reading about it and remembering it, because now that's a part, but that's a repeat of the same religious concept. Let me remember some words, because you're going to read a lot of incredible words that you don't have experience with. Right. And when your life hits a turbulence, the words you remember may not help. It's the experience of the path that will strengthen you in the turbulence.
Yes.
Because a lot of us read a lot of things, and then you face a turbulence that you don't. We have some people watching.
I believe we do. Let me check right now.
Okay, I'm just asking.
Yes, we do.
All right. See, you could see if you live from what you remember in a turbulence that you have no experience with, you're going to retreat from that turbulence to go back to what you're conveniently comfortable with.
Yes.
But once you become, inside of all of us is a vault of wisdom waiting for the proper chaos to produce it. Inside of you is a wisdom. Well, in self-discovery, you have to change how you think about yourself to trust the wisdom that's in you. Because if you don't like you, you don't like what you know.
If I don't like me,
If you don't like you, you will never like the things you know. See, if I don't like me, I don't like my wisdom. So you're not going to trust your thoughts. You're going to trust somebody else you like. I like you, Fizer, so give me some wisdom. No, trust your own. But if you don't love yourself, how can you love your wisdom?
So for somebody who may be watching now and they want to discover themselves, what would you say would be the first thing that they should start doing? Well,
first of all, the road to self-discovery is self-initiated. A person could preach it, but you won't look for you. And the only way you will look for you is if you feel you lost something.
Right.
You can't look for what you didn't lose.
Right.
You can't look for what's not missing. You can't look for nothing that you could put off until tomorrow. Because if you don't need it today, you won't look for it now. The key to discovery is to, first of all, come in contact, an intimate contact with something that's divinely missing. How many of you who are watching me feel something's missing? And how do you rate the feeling? How do you rate what's missing? Is it something you need to find today? Is it something you need to look for now? Because a lot of us don't look for everything that's missing, Undrai. It's like, oh, I got a shoe I hadn't seen in a week. But if you've been getting by without it, you're not going to look for it.
Right.
So it has to be a thought where you said, I can't go any further.
Yes.
You can't teach people how far to go and how and when to start. That's one thing I have discovered as a teacher.
True.
I could say it, but I can't put the yearning in you of when. Right. Whatever you desire will determine your when.
Yes.
See, the measure of what I desire determines when I seek it.
Yes.
And if I have measured it to be something that I can't live without, I will look on my own.
Yes.
Because when I look for it, I know what to ask. See, if I'm looking for something, I would never have to ask anybody else, well, how do I ask? Because what you desire will tell you how to ask. Am I making sense?
You are making sense.
When I really want it, what I want will tell me what to do. Yes. That's the first art of self-discovery. It's teaching you how to communicate with your soul. It's teaching you how to communicate as a soul. It's teaching you how to speak a different language because you've come in contact with something that's divinely missing, that's determined when you're going to look for it. And when you have discovered your when, it will give you your what and your why. And you will be able to speak it out. It's not a particular gift at all. It's really a language. Self-discovery is really the language of the soul, of a found soul. When I found my soul, I learned how to talk. In religion, I was preaching. But in this kingdom consciousness, I discovered my soul and I learned how to talk.
Yes.
See, a lot of us preach, but we don't know how to talk. We preach, but we don't know how to talk, and we steal everybody else's quotes and put them on Facebook. But once you discover your soul, there is a vault, and you never run out of words to say because you found your own soul. See, in the beginning, when I met you, you were going back and forth. But now I see you constantly talking. And I told Bridget, oh, she found it. Because now you're talking. And the more you keep talking, the more you're going to unearth more jewels in your life, see?
Yes.
When you find your soul, you learn how to talk. When you don't know who you are, you just preach.
Yes.
You preach what you remember. And sometimes I hear people preach and I could finish it for them. You're going to go back and say that same thing. I know what you're going to say. And I'm not talking against them, but I know what you're going to say. I know what you're going to say. I know that road you're going on. You're about to say this.
Yeah.
You're about to say that. You're about to say, you know, God is good. What? All the time. All the time. What? All is good. You got a cliche. It's the same cliche. But then you step out and you talk what never been heard and what's never been said. That's what caused people to feel funny about Jesus. They say, where did you get this from? When is the last time anyone told you or asked you, where did you get that from?
Yes.
When you begin to be questioned about your original language, you know you found something.
Yes.
Because they're saying, where did you hear that? I hear you, but how did you come up with that? But when you're in the same conventional religious consciousness, no one ever asks where you found your wisdom because they know where you got it. They finish it for you. And that's what causes us to be discouraged because you know when you are down, somebody's going to come to you and encourage you with the same oil. And so you have to tolerate it. That's what makes you more angry because you know what they're going to say. It's all in God's timing. It's the Lord. It's all him. Just be encouraged. You know they're going to say it, and you know they have a good heart about it, but you can't keep drinking the same old oil and feel good about it. Definitely. Am I making sense?
You're making a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. And I just want to let our audience know that the first book that I read from Dr. Fizer is the 365. And I think I've read that book more than I've read the Bible.
Oh God. Oh Jesus.
I actually, it was like my Bible. When I left the conventional church, it was my Bible. And I say that proudly. And for any of you who may be interested in getting a copy of the 365, it's available on Amazon. It's available on Barnes and Noble. But I just want to read a quote from the 365 that one of the quotes that I love. There's so many.
Oh, yeah.
Here it says, most of us never really learn from our mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
We're just grateful that we were able to live to make another. Real, huh? Focus, listen, become, overcome, live what you want to see.
That's right.
Can you just?
Yeah. Be glad to. Most times we make mistakes, and when we're caught, we say, "Well, you got to learn from them."
Right.
But some of our mistakes never transform our observation. It never transformed our art of observation or seeing what's going on around us. It never transformed our communication skill. It never transformed our sensitivity to life and our laws or our inner specifics or our inner specs. It never shifts our language. We're just happy that the mistake didn't cause the person to wipe us out or to disown us. And so we're just happy to live to make another mistake again to apologize for. But a mistake is a mistaken. It's you taking something out of line. You took something wrong out of line. It's a mistake or a distake. You took the wrong opinion on something. And instead of discovering the right way to see it, you're just happy you can live the mess up again and still be owned. So that's what I meant. Most of us never learn from it. We never open our hearts to a different consciousness. Mistakes should unlock your mind to a hidden you. It shouldn't just be, Lord, forgive me for it. Okay. Thank you for letting me wake up. I don't feel guilty now. It's not about feeling guilty or convicted behind a mistake. It's about discovering the right thing to take so you can stop taking the wrong things into consideration.
So that's a big part of self-discovery. It's actually paying attention and observing what it is that you're picking up.
What are you picking up? Give me 5 from back here. Give me 5. A mistake means I took the wrong thing. I took the wrong understanding. I took the wrong perspective. I took the wrong feeling. It's a mistake. It's a distake. Instead of mistake, it's distake. It's a distake. I took the wrong thing.
Right.
Yeah. I made a mistake. I took the wrong thought on that. I felt differently about it. Have you ever got a true feeling off of something that wasn't true?
Yes.
You thought they were talking about you, but they were talking about somebody else.
Yes.
But you felt an emotion that was real, that made you feel, see, that's how come I don't like them. You ever notice when you mistake something, you can get a revelation of people that's not true? Yes. See, they're mean. See, that's how come I don't want to mess with them. That's why I was feeling this in my spirit. And then you find out, oh no, somebody died over there and they were talking about it and they didn't want to bring the business out in the open. And then you feel shame when you made a mistake. because it awoke a true feeling that was a lie.
Wow.
So when you come up with an emotion that wasn't real, it has no basis, that's saying that's how you feel about you privately, that you really feel that you are in the way.
Yes.
And you are blaming other people for exposing a feeling that was hiding in you. Sometimes false feelings play hide and seek in our souls.
Yes.
Hide and find me. So when something comes up, the feeling comes, see, I knew you was doing that. And then you find out, no, they wasn't doing that. But you done already exposed the feeling. And then we say, well, I'm human. As though being a human is bad. Being a human is a great thing.
Yes.
But our emotions, our lack of understanding of who we are as souls will create false illusional feelings of who we think we are, because beneath the earth of all of our experience is a hidden feeling that says we are not worthy and not good enough.
Yes.
Beneath the dirt of our dirt, beneath all of the experiences, there's something that says you're not able. And see, God knows it because God is spirit and we are spirit. Yes. And so God keeps causing us to descend into the grave of these false feelings so we could rise again. When Jesus died, he had to descend into the grave. And then the scripture says that he preached to the spirits that were disobedient. A lot of us have disobedient consciousness hidden in our grave. And as we die to who we think we are, we descend into the grave to preach and talk to those disobedient feelings that yet reside in us until we come back from the grave, till we come back from the dead.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Bridget is probably on here saying, that's fresh. I've never heard him say that before.
Yes. Well, let me take a look at the comments now and let me see if there are any questions. There's some. Listen, this is powerful, ladies and gentlemen. Powerful. And
hopefully they're still on. I hope nobody ran off.
Oh, no, they're still on. Oh, Bridget is saying, say that. I'm trying to see if I can see any of the other comments. It's not allowing me at this moment. We see you, Jason. We see you, Naya. We see you, Crystal. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, folks, for sharing this video, this live video. It is definitely powerful. And this is what I love about Jesus. Jesus was able to identify where a person felt unworthy, and he offered a different perspective. He offered them a new way of seeing themselves.
Yeah. But you got to take it.
Yes.
See, people can offer you the avenue of new sight.
Yes.
But you got to see with it.
Yes.
Jesus told a blind man, he asked him, he said, what you want me to do? And the blind man said, so I want to receive my sight.
Yes.
And he said, according to your faith or according to your real desire, see. A lot of us are blind to who we are, but we tell people that we want to see. And so we're looking for them to give us a concept of sight. But we have to find the courage to live our own sight.
Yes.
I think we still want people to be held accountable to our sight, though, because they need to blame someone in case they fall in the ditch. And we want to be able to say, I wouldn't have fallen in that ditch if you wouldn't have told me to look that way.
Wow.
But I'm going to tell you something beautiful.
Yes.
When you gain the courage from your inner soul to look from your own sight, if you fall in the ditch, you'll be able to plant something in that ditch. Yes. and rise up out of that ditch. You can handle a fall in the ditch.
Yes.
When you feel confident to see on your own.
Yes.
A fall will hurt you if you're trying to blame somebody else.
Yes.
But if you use the fall for your advantage, you'll never feel it.
You'll always win.
Yeah. because you have gained the courage to look out of your own eyes. That was hard for me in the beginning because I didn't feel I was worthy enough to see.
Yeah.
And gifted people will always practice, especially if you're prophetic. You will always practice on other people and live your life through them. Yeah. Just to see if they would respect your words. You ever had somebody that didn't respect your prophetic word? You say, see, they listen to everybody else but me. See, they don't listen when I say it. Because you're still practicing and testing the legitimacy of your words through other people. But I got a secret for you. Are you willing to live your own words out?
Yes.
See, some of us don't want to live our own words out.
Why are we so afraid?
Because we know something about us that other people don't know. We are more intimate with where we're weak than where we can see. If your sight hadn't caused you to forget where you're weak, you haven't saw yet.
Wow. If your sight
hasn't caused you to forget your weakness, you have yet to see. You don't know how to see yet. See, when you learn how to see, you'll forget you're weak.
Yes. Somebody needs to write that down.
You better write it. If I see this on Facebook with your name on it, they won't see you tomorrow.
When you learn how to see,
you'll forget your weak. Yeah. You'll forget it because you've learned how to see. See, Peter walked on the water, but the wind and the rain and the storm was still in his soul. He walked on it, but he didn't get rid of the wind. See, the scriptures say when he saw all the wind around him, he started to sink. Well, the wind around him was really the wind within him. Yes. When you really walk on the water, the wind inside of you will vanish. Will vanish.
Yes.
You can't walk on the water when you still got wind inside of your soul. Wow. And rain and storm still in your mind. You got to rid yourself of the storm that's in your consciousness before you can walk on the water.
Yes. 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 And yes.
All right.
Before we close out.
But that was quick.
We got about 10 more minutes.
Okay.
But for many of you who may be watching, you may not be aware, Dr. Fizer, he was a candidate.
Yes,
representative.
I still am. Yeah.
Still a candidate. We're so proud of him. How many votes did you get?
I got 1,021 votes.
Okay, with no campaign manager.
No campaign manager, not a lot of money. I was the least funded out of everybody. And we had the least amount of volunteers, least amount of experience. Mm-hmm. We had 17 yard signs left. We only had 17 signs. Mm-hmm. And we got 1,021 votes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is amazing. I'm really proud. I'm really proud of it.
And we are so proud of you. And I just wanted you to share with us.
Yes.
What did you discover or recover about yourself during this campaign process?
I discovered that my voice and potential is greater than what I perceived it to be. I discovered that this lane of thought and lane of government is suitable for my wisdom and my consciousness.
Yes.
I discovered that I'm not underestimated in myself. Mm-hmm. I've recovered a different, unique boldness to stepping into unfamiliar waters, and I was able to walk on it. Yeah. And I didn't sink. I just didn't get invited to walk farther. I didn't sink. I discovered that most of the state they were not mentally ready for my brand of politics, but they yearned for it. I was able, with the help of my family and my team, I was able to help usher in a new form of dialogue and politics. And this new form of politics earned us 1,021 votes.
That's amazing.
I'm happy because we made an impact ushering in a new mindset.
Yes.
The major newspaper in this state, the Houston Chronicle, they said that I had charisma, lots of it.
Mm-hmm.
They felt I needed to learn more of the issues, but I did know the issues, but I wasn't conventional enough for them to feel safe. I discovered that people desire a change, but they're afraid of the unfamiliar package of wisdom that
Yes.
will bring the change. And just like all of us, we all resort back to what we know.
Yes.
And so we resort back to what we know to give us time to stomach what we're going to have to give up. And I think they're having to stomach Undrai Fizer. They were not intimidated with Undrai Fizer. They were blessed with Undrai Fizer, but they didn't know what to do with Undrai Fizer. I learned that the world cannot release a forerunner. It's going to take other forerunners to release a forerunner. I learned, or I've seen more of my own community in the African American community, that we're going to have to rise up differently. Yes. We're going to have to rise up differently, because if everyone stood with me, I would be the winner today. And not just because of our black skin, but because our forerunner consciousness.
Yes.
I've discovered that most of us in our community are more attracted to fantasy with a message instead of a reality with a message.
Yes.
We have to change that, but I don't know if we're ready to. I've also discovered that I'm going to still do this thing in a different way, and that I'm not a loser. I may have lost that lesson, but I won a new education.
Yes.
And I'm appreciative of the tuition that I paid. Not just what I paid, but the people that helped me. So I lost this primary, but I did not lose the election, because my election is sure. Yeah. My calling and my election is sure.
Come on.
So I didn't lose my election. I lost the primary.
Woo!
I'm moving into something incredible. I didn't lose that. So I'm for it. I'm for it. And I'm thankful for it. I'm thankful for that. And you know what? Sometimes after a quote unquote loss, people try to encourage you as though you're down. Sometimes we try to encourage ourselves by speaking a lot of highly positive things. But I don't have to try. This situation showed me something. We earned 1,000 votes. Yes. With nothing. Imagine if we had something. If God can give me 1,000 with nothing, imagine what he would have gave me with something. And
this
so
this was a test
run.
This was a test run.
It was good for me.
Yeah.
And I'm thankful. And we're going to get it. And I have some strategies at how to do this the next time. It may be sooner than you think. It may be in the next few months. But I'm considering some things right now. And but I'm good. And this is my politics. Humanity is my politics. And I've discovered that people are not ready for humanity. We're still using humanity. We're using it to appeal to people to get votes. But then we still play the same game in the background. And that's why things haven't changed.
Right.
But I know what to do. And I'm good. And I'm appreciative of my 1,000. I thank God for the seed of 1,021 constituents.
Yes.
1,000.
That's amazing.
1,000. I had people who was probably shocked that I got that. They was probably thinking he's going to probably get 20 votes, maybe his family. But to get 1,021.
With nothing.
I'm thankful. 1,000.
Amazing.
We want him. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful.
And we are so proud of you. I am so proud of you.
Thank you so much.
And for those of you who would like to connect with Dr. Fizer, he has amazing programs. Tell them a little bit about what you have. I know you have the mentor shift.
Oh yeah, we have mentorships and we have special personal classes. We could do these classes by Zoom. We could do it by FaceTime. You could do it over the phone to assist you in your journey to self-discovery here at the Kairos Institute of Personal Discovery and also Kairos Interglobal. We also have certifying programs to help certify you as a life coach or a life strategist, a life shower, a way shower.
Yes.
We could certify you with our own unique brand of certifying options. But that's what we're here for. That's what Audrey and everyone else is here for, is to help assist you into looking for what you said you lost. Yes. Because when you lose something that you need, you're going to search for it. Yes. See, I noticed this. You can tell your kids to look for something you lost. They're going to only look for it. And they're going to tell you, Mama, I couldn't find it. and then you're going to say, they're going to say, you know why? You searched for it and they only looked for it. You searched, but they only looked.
You only looked.
Yeah. Some people can't find stuff for you because they're going to only look for it. But when you search for it, you're going to find it. So Kairos, we assist you in the search. And we let you know that it wasn't far from you. All of this time you had it with you. You just didn't see it.
Yes. Oh, I'm so full. I'm so blessed. And you can reach Dr. Fizer. Actually, you can add him on Facebook. He also has a website, www.undraifizer.com. He has amazing resources on his website. You can reach out to him. He is not untouchable. Okay. Oh, no. I remember when I first, I think I reached out to him through Jason, and I was like, "Is it okay for me to call him?" And he was like, "Yeah." And let me tell you, Dr. Fizer is down to earth. He's an amazing man. He's he's like a spiritual father to me. I love him. And for those of you who are curious, there's something inside of you that is pulling you and calling you to yourself. I would tell you to answer the call. Get curious. Get more curious.
Answer the phone. Yeah, answer it.
Answer the call. You'll be very surprised at what you discover. Anyway, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, everyone who watched. I see Sherry Williams, Terrell Craig, Renee Thomas. Wow. Thank you, guys. Also, please share this live. Share this live with your community. This was a powerful conversation about self-discovery. Again, I thank you. I'm so excited. And please tune in for the next sacred conversation. I'll definitely let you know who our next guest will be. I love you, Doc.
Love you too.
Love you all. Have a wonderful evening. Bye.
Peace.